Well, good afternoon. I'm very excited to be here for the first business launch of our key new products. Over the next few weeks, these products will be launched around the world to our business customers. They've been many years in the making, and based on the feedback you provided and actually billions of development money going into these, we're thrilled about the new opportunities that they'll open up. And so we saw that the software would be the key missing piece, and hence Microsoft was started. Every 2 years, that doubling in power has taken place. In fact, not only the microprocessor, also the size of the disk storage has gone up even faster. The speed of optic fiber connections has gone up faster. And so we find ourselves with incredible power to use to create value. Today, these standard Windows servers at very low cost deliver performance far beyond what even a mainframe type system was capable of doing in the past. The form of the computer is changing as well. It's getting smaller, it's getting more pervasive. If we think about the machine on our desk, it's becoming a flat panel device with a very large screen area. In fact, bigger and bigger so that we can look at and deal with more information. The portable machine is getting thinner and lighter, smaller, and in fact, there'll be a tablet form factor that you can carry around literally like a tablet of paper, and it's comfortable enough to read off of that screen as you hold it in your hands that it's as good as having a magazine, a newspaper, the traditional way of reading. If we think about using that device for a student as it comes down over the next 5 years to be only a few $100s, they'll be able to use that, and instead of buying textbooks, they'll get digital curriculum that's superior in every way, that can be personalized, that can have video, can have interaction. The wireless internet showing up on that tablet gives that student a chance to navigate the world of information in a very rich way. If we think about the device in our pocket, obviously it started off as a pure voice device, but now with camera-like capability, starting to show maps, bringing us our mail, our schedule, becoming our digital wallet, storing all of our media, music, and even videos that we want to take around. That device is getting amazingly powerful. In fact, it has the power that even a PC only had a few years ago. Now, when we think about all these systems, there's always a concern of how complex they'll be. We need a way of developing software that doesn't require so many lines of code, or where the pieces can stand alone and each be tested on a smaller basis and then brought together component by component. The approach for this is industry standard around the web service protocols and using XML data that we call service-oriented architecture. And the fact that now the tools are allowing you to easily write these applications means that when you think of a piece of software, you don't just think about it being on one computer. An application that you run might call out to a partner site to get shipping information or to get material availability. And yet it's just part of the application making a call that, even though it doesn't run on that machine, is just as simple to write it, and then it goes out over the internet and brings back that information. The platform for software used to be primarily just about PCs. Now that's expanded. Now we also have to talk about the information showing up in the mobile world as well. The large screen device, the PC, and that small screen mobile device, they have unique roles to play. You can't do something like a tax return or a large, rich document on the small screen, and yet the small screen, in many cases, is all you need and all you have with you to be notified of a change. And so making those worlds work very well together, so documents can be exchanged. Even things like rights management, where you create a document and you say that only certain people in the company should see it, that should extend out in a simple way to viewing those documents on the mobile phone. So that's an increasingly important part of the platform. The platform's got to make it so that things are user-centric. As you move from device to device, your information can show up automatically for you. Whether it's a Windows PC or a phone, you're not doing by hand, transferring files around, figuring out how to get your calendar onto the different things. Even the boundary between your personal information and your work information, we should have that, but we should make it easy to navigate within one interface back and forth across that boundary in a way that's simple and yet preserves that distinction. Our R&D budget this year will be about $7.5 billion. That is by far the highest of any company in the world, and that shows our optimism. Now, at the same time, because of the volume of the products involved here, we're able to do that and put those investments in and take what we think of as the low price, high volume model. For example, take Windows Vista that we put many billions of dollars into. The price is absolutely the same for the comparable versions as it was in the past. Let me talk about interoperability. This has been a very big issue because people make investments in their application systems, and although over time they rewrite them, that's a very rare thing. And so you want to be able to leave those applications alone and yet connect them up to these new services or new things you're doing. We've been able to make Windows interoperate with all the different systems out there, with the mainframe, with Unix, the different databases, and it's helped a lot that Windows is so pervasive that people want to connect up to Windows, and we want them to connect up to Windows. The more interoperability we have, the easier it is for you when you are thinking about doing something new to say there's no barrier to using the high volume system because it's now mature enough, it's rich enough, and it can connect back in to even things that say you want to leave on the mainframe for a period of time. You can do an evolutionary approach system by system. Interoperability is something that we're always pulling our customers about. Where are they seeing any friction? Where would they like new work to be done? It's partly in that spirit that we've been working at connecting up with various types of Unix systems in an even deeper way. Things like running on the same virtual machine capability, having some of the same formats, and our recently announced deal with Novell in terms of cooperating with them on technical work and the licensing model where they can offer indemnification for the intellectual property that we have. That's a milestone in this commitment to interoperability. Interoperability is a very broad thing. A lot of standards committees, for example, connecting up the telephony networks of the world and the internet. The standards there, things like SIP, are allowing you to move on to the internet more and more and yet be able to connect up, not have to replace all your PBXs all at once, and yet start to get advantage of the dramatic increase in flexibility that exists on the internet. See that today with some of the new investments we're making. Software on the phone. In the last few years, our software there has reached critical mass and is now increasingly popular, Windows Mobile. Software inside the car to help you have your media and your communications there. Some of the car manufacturers are taking the work we've done and actually building that in, and that will explode over the next 5 years. Taking TV, pushing it onto the internet. We call that IPTV. We've got a number of big operators around Europe and the United States now taking the internet and saying that you can personalize TV and get at any content you want that's interesting to you and have that be simple, not just through a PC, but through sort of a classic TV 10-foot interface. We're very excited about the opportunities these things create, and so I think the payoff to all of this is going to be to see how each of you takes it and builds solutions, high-value solutions that are relevant to your business. And we're committed to help you do that, and we look forward to seeing where it can take you. Thank you.